And I know with some of you guys, this number is either going to be disappointing or it's going to be exciting. If it's disappointing, then you might want to go back to your budget and figure out other things you can cut out just to increase your nest egg so you won't take as much time to reach your goal. And if you're excited about it, great. You're going to get there quicker. Welcome to the High Standard University podcast, where we explore self-improvement in all four aspects: mentally, physically, financially, and emotionally. If you're watching this video, I want to thank you so much for coming back for step 2 of the series. So if you guys don't know, we're doing a series right now on how to become financially stable. There's 4 steps, and we're going deep into every step in these podcast episodes. This episode is likely to be a little bit shorter because how to create a budget was pretty compact and very value driven. So if you haven't checked that episode out, you need to check it out. Not only because it's a good episode, because you will need that information in that episode to help you in this episode. But if you have watched the first episode, I want to give you a taste about what you're going to learn in this episode. Today, we're going to be going over what a emergency fund is, what's the purpose of it, how to know how long it's going to take you to fill it up, and how to actually do it. I already know this episode is going to be a mean banger, so let's get into the information. So, what is an emergency fund? My definition of emergency fund is a certain amount of money stashed or saved with the intention to be used for emergencies only. Those said emergencies will be things like car breaking down, you losing your job, or your phone breaks. I'm going to say this again. I'm a Gen Zer. My phone breaking is an emergency to me. Leave me the hell alone. But seriously, I want you to start this step as soon as you set up your budget and you have everything automatically on direct deposit for your job or your side hustle. Speaking of your budget, that is an essential step and a must do if you want to move on to this step. To summarize, we talked about this in the last episode, but basically creating a budget is like this. You want to know your monthly average income and your monthly average expenses, and you want to know how much money you have left over. And if it's not a lot, you want to break down those expenses so you have more left over to complete these goals. These leftover funds will be called goal money, and we'll be using these to become financially stable. With that being said, the first official step to create an emergency fund is to set up a separate savings account. You can set this up in any bank, but I highly prefer you use an online bank. Those like Ally Bank, Discover, SoFi, Capital One, those are my favorites right there, but you can do your research and find one that fits you. And the reason why I want to be separate away from all your other bank accounts is you don't want the temptation to actually use that money. I know you think you're responsible, but we want to keep that far away so you don't just have easy access to it. Because you have easy access to it, you're more likely to use it. And if you're extremely hardcore, don't even think about setting up a checking account with the savings account. The reason why is for you to actually use that money, you have to transfer it to your checking account. And that's going to give you more time to think about what you actually are doing and if that money you're spending is actually an emergency. Like I said, if you did your budget right, like we explained in the last episode, you should know your average monthly income and your average monthly expenses. You should also know, on average, how much money you'll have left over every month. Whether you want to figure out how long it's going to take you to save up this emergency fund, I got a simple formula that you can use. You're simply going to do $1,000 divided by how much money you have on average a month left over for your goals. And the number you get is how long it's going to take you to save up that money. And that's a little confusing. Don't worry. I'm finna give you an example. Let's say when I did my budget, I figured I had around $120 a month left over for my goals. I'm then going to take that $1,000 and divide it by the amount of money I have left over. And this example is 120. So when I equal that out, it's going to equal 8.3. Which means it's going to take me around 8 months and some change to reach my emergency fund target. And I know with some of you guys, this number is either going to be disappointing or it's going to be exciting. If it's disappointing, then you might want to go back to your budget and figure out other things you can cut out just to increase your nest egg so you won't take as much time to reach your goal. And if you're excited about it, great. You're going to get there quicker. And the next step is simple. Get to saving. Like I said in the last episode, make sure all your direct deposits are automatically connected to these accounts. And I want you to stay disciplined because once you reach this goal, you'll find yourself getting this mean ass dopamine hit because you actually accomplished what you set out to do. And this is only step 2 in a mean ass, fun ass journey to being financially stable. Just to summarize, first you want to make sure your budget's right. Then you want to make sure you have a savings account. Then you want to set the date so you know how long it's going to take you to do it. Then you want to get to saving and save your ass off. If you do all these things thoroughly and correctly, you'll find yourself completing this step and moving on to step 3, which is getting rid of all debt. We'll talk about that in the next episode. Guys, I'm so thankful that you stayed to the end. My name is Quincy Holder. I make videos about self-improvement in all 4 aspects: physically, mentally, emotionally, and financially. And guys, I can't wait to see you guys in the next episode. That being said, High Standard University,